Every person who has ever lived has wondered about suffering. Why do we experience pain? Why must we face loss, disappointment, and the inevitable reality of death? These questions have echoed through human hearts since the beginning of time. The truth is that we have been caught in a cycle of birth and death for countless lifetimes, experiencing the same patterns of joy and sorrow over and over again. But what if there was a way to break free from this endless cycle? What if the key to liberation was already inside you, waiting to be discovered? The Buddhist teachings tell us that within every living being exists a profound truth, a mystic reality that most people never notice. This truth is not something you need to acquire from outside yourself. You don't need to become someone different or reach some distant paradise. The power to transform your life and attain enlightenment already resides within you right now at this very moment. Nichiren Daishonin wrote, "If you wish to free yourself from the sufferings of birth and death you have endured since time without beginning, and to attain without fail unsurpassed enlightenment in this lifetime, you must perceive the mystic truth that is originally inherent in all living beings." This simple statement contains a revolutionary message. Freedom from suffering is possible, and it can happen in this lifetime. The mystic truth he speaks of has a name. It is called Myoho Renge-kyo. These 5 syllables represent the fundamental law of the universe, the rhythm that governs all life. Just as gravity affects everything in the physical world, Myoho Renge-kyo is the spiritual law that underlies all existence. When you understand and connect with this law, you tap into a power greater than any challenge you might face. You align yourself with the force that creates stars, grows flowers, and beats your own heart. But what does Myoho Renge-kyo actually mean? Each part of this phrase carries deep significance. Myoho means the mystic law, the wonderful and mysterious truth that cannot be fully grasped by ordinary thinking. It represents the true nature of life itself. Reng means lotus flower, which blooms in muddy water yet remains pure and beautiful. The lotus symbolizes how enlightenment can emerge from the midst of suffering and daily challenges. Kyo means sutra or teaching, and it also represents the sound or voice that communicates this truth. Together, these syllables form a complete expression of the ultimate reality that exists within you and all around you. The Lotus Sutra, which Nichiren Daishonin regarded as the highest teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha, reveals this profound truth. In the Lifespan chapter, the Buddha declares that he attained enlightenment in the inconceivably distant past and has been present ever since, working to guide all living beings toward awakening. This teaching shatters the common belief that enlightenment is something rare and distant. Instead, it shows that the enlightened state is eternal and always available. The Buddha nature, the potential for enlightenment, exists in every person without exception. Think about what this means for your life. You are not broken or incomplete. You do not need to wait until some future time when conditions are perfect. Right now, in your current circumstances, with all your flaws and struggles, you possess the seed of Buddhahood. Nichiren Daishonin emphasized this point repeatedly in his writings. He taught that ordinary people living ordinary lives could achieve the same enlightened state that the Buddha attained. This was a radical idea in his time, and it remains revolutionary today. However, simply knowing that this truth exists inside you is not enough. You must perceive it, awaken to it, and bring it forth in your daily life. This is where practice becomes essential. Nichiren Daishonin established the practice of chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo as the direct way to connect with this mystic truth. When you chant these words with sincere faith, you are not praying to something outside yourself. You are calling forth the Buddha nature within your own life. You are tuning your entire being to the rhythm of the universe itself. The Lotus Sutra explains this concept through various parables and teachings. In the parable of the gem in the robe, a poor man wanders for years in poverty, unaware that a priceless jewel has been sewn into his clothing by a wealthy friend. The jewel represents the Buddha nature that each person carries within, often without realizing it. We search everywhere for happiness and meaning, never recognizing that what we seek is already ours. When someone finally points out the jewel, the poor man's life transforms instantly. Similarly, when you awaken to the truth of Myoho Renge Kyo within yourself, everything changes. This awakening does not require you to retreat from the world or abandon your responsibilities. One of the most beautiful aspects of this teaching is that it works precisely in the midst of real life. Your job, your relationships, your daily struggles, these are the very soil in which your enlightenment will bloom. Remember the lotus flower growing in muddy water. The mud is not an obstacle to the lotus. It is the necessary condition for its growth. Your challenges are not preventing your enlightenment. They are the opportunities through which you will achieve it. Shakyamuni Buddha taught that all phenomena arise from causes and conditions. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is connected in an intricate web of cause and effect. This principle, known as dependent origination, helps us understand why we have experienced suffering through countless lifetimes. Our actions, thoughts, and words create causes that produce effects, which in turn become new causes. This creates patterns that repeat across time. However, when you base your life on Myoho Renge Kyo, you tap into the fundamental cause that produces the ultimate effect, Buddhahood. Nichiren Daishonin wrote about this in a letter to one of his followers. The heart of the Lotus Sutra is its revelation that one may attain Buddhahood in one's present form without altering one's status as an ordinary person. This statement overturns the traditional view that enlightenment requires abandoning the world and undergoing severe austerities for many lifetimes. Instead, it affirms that transformation happens from the inside out, right where you are. Consider how this applies to your daily experience. When you face a difficult situation, you have a choice. You can react based on anger, fear, or confusion, which will create suffering for yourself and others. Or you can respond from your Buddha nature, drawing on wisdom and compassion. The more you connect with Myoho Renge Kyo through practice, the more naturally you will access this deeper wisdom. Your perspective shifts. Problems that once seemed overwhelming become opportunities for growth. People who irritated you become teachers, showing you aspects of yourself that need development. The Lotus Sutra also teaches that the Buddha appears in this world for one great purpose: to help all living beings open their eyes to their Buddha wisdom. In the Expedient Means chapter, it states that Buddhas appear to open the door of Buddha wisdom to all living beings, to show the Buddha wisdom to living beings, to cause living beings to awaken to the Buddha wisdom, and to induce living beings to enter the path of Buddha wisdom. This wisdom is not something foreign or abstract. It is your own inherent wisdom, the natural intelligence of life itself. When you practice with the understanding that Myoho Renge Kyo exists within you, your faith becomes unshakable. You are not hoping that some external force will save you. You are activating the supreme power of your own life. Nichiren Daishonin compared this to a person who possesses a great treasure but never uses it. Without the key to unlock it, the treasure remains hidden and useless. The practice of chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is that key. It opens your treasure storehouse and allows the riches within to pour forth. This process unfolds gradually in most cases, though sometimes breakthroughs come suddenly. You might notice small changes at first, a little more patience with your children, a fresh idea about solving a work problem, a sense of hope emerging after a period of despair. These are signs that your Buddha nature is beginning to shine through the clouds of negativity and doubt that have obscured it. As you continue practicing, the changes deepen. Your character strengthens, your wisdom grows, your compassion expands to embrace not just those you love, but all living beings. The concept of time without beginning might seem overwhelming or even frightening. How can we comprehend suffering that has no starting point? Yet this teaching also contains tremendous hope. If your Buddha nature has existed since time without beginning, then it is stronger and more fundamental than any suffering you have experienced. The causes you have made in the past, whether in this life or previous ones, have created your current circumstances. But those causes do not define your future. By connecting with Myoho Renge Kyo now, you create causes for enlightenment that are far more powerful than any negative karma from the past. Think of it this way. Imagine a dark room that has been closed for 1,000 years. When you finally open the door and let in light, does the darkness resist? Does it take 1,000 years for the light to overcome the darkness? No, the light illuminates the room instantly. Similarly, no matter how long you have been lost in delusion, the light of Myoho Renge Kyo can illuminate your life immediately when you awaken to it. The Lotus Sutra promises that those who embrace this teaching will quickly attain the unsurpassed Buddha way. What does it mean to attain enlightenment in this lifetime? It does not mean becoming perfect or never experiencing difficulties again. Rather, it means establishing an unshakable foundation of happiness that cannot be destroyed by external circumstances. It means developing the wisdom to transform any situation into an opportunity for growth. It means awakening to the interconnectedness of all life and acting with compassion toward yourself and others. It means breaking free from the endless cycle of suffering and experiencing true freedom. Nichiren Daishonin faced terrible persecution for teaching this truth. Authorities exiled him, attacked him, and threatened his life. His followers also suffered greatly, yet in his letters to them, he remained confident and encouraging. He wrote that their sufferings were actually proof that they were practicing correctly, because anyone who challenges ignorance and oppression will face resistance. He taught that by maintaining faith through difficulties, they were transforming their karma and securing their enlightenment. Their struggles were not meaningless. They were the very means by which they would achieve the Buddha way. This perspective transforms how we view challenges. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We can ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger? How can I use this experience to help others? When you base your life on Myoho Renge Kyo, every experience becomes valuable. Nothing is wasted. Even your mistakes and failures serve a purpose in your journey toward enlightenment. The key is consistent practice and unwavering faith. Shakyamuni Buddha compared faith to hands that allow you to grasp the treasure of Buddhism. Without hands, even if someone offers you riches, you cannot receive them. Without faith, even if the supreme teaching is explained to you, you cannot benefit from it. But faith does not mean blind belief. It means putting the teaching into practice and observing the results in your own life. When you chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo sincerely and see positive changes emerge, your faith naturally deepens. Remember that perceiving the mystic truth is both simple and profound. It is simple because you do not need special qualifications or abilities. You do not need to be particularly intelligent, virtuous, or talented. You simply need to be willing to try. It is profound because this truth encompasses the entire universe and unlocks the highest potential of human life. The practice meets you where you are and guides you forward from there. As you develop your practice, you will notice that your relationship with yourself and others transforms. You begin to see the Buddha nature not just in yourself, but in everyone around you. That difficult coworker, that challenging family member, that stranger on the street, they all possess the same supreme potential that you do. This recognition naturally gives rise to compassion and respect. You want to help others awaken to their own treasure, just as someone helped you discover yours. The promise of attaining enlightenment without fail is not an empty guarantee. It rests on the perfect fusion of the law of cause and effect with the supreme law of Myoho Renge Kyo. When you make the cause of faith and practice, the effect of enlightenment must follow, just as surely as a seed produces a plant when given proper conditions. Your determination to practice consistently provides those conditions. The Lotus Sutra assures us that not a single person who embraces this teaching will fail to attain Buddhahood. This is the incredible opportunity before you right now. You can choose to awaken to the mystic truth within your own life. You can choose to break free from patterns of suffering that have persisted for lifetimes. You can choose to manifest your highest potential and help others do the same. The door stands open. All you need to do is step through it with faith, courage, and determination. Your enlightenment is not a distant dream or an impossible ideal. It is your birthright, waiting to be claimed in this very lifetime.